Hello, my name is Benjamin Branham, and I'd like to welcome you to the first edition of the Pause for the Cause podcast. So, I'd like to ask you a quick question. You can probably see it on the screen here. Do you like dealing with customer service? Why? So, if you go into a store and they have both self-checkout and assisted checkout, which one do you typically choose? Why do you choose that one? Does the expected quality of the service by the cashier make a difference? Are you even aware if it does? Have you been conditioned to automatically assume that you would prefer to not interact with the cashier? So, big corporations don't want to spend the money on human interaction because it's expensive. How many small businesses have been lost to corporations? How many more industries are left for corporations to take over? What is an acceptable number of businesses for competition so an industry is not considered a monopoly? 3? Maybe 4? So if we allow 4 businesses to dictate an entire industry, how does that benefit the consumer? When we allow corporations to decide that human interaction is not a valuable skill, we doom our society. It causes people to become jaded with human interaction, and we stop caring for one another. Then we see the behaviors that are currently rampant in today's society. So let's say you go out for dinner. Would you prefer a server that behaves as a robot with no personality, but they are efficient? Or one that is pleasant, knows how to read their guest, converse accordingly, and is also efficient? So by design, corporations only care about making money for their shareholders, which is why we have underpaid customer-facing jobs. What's crazy is a lot of wealthy individuals pay someone else who is then tasked to interact with all customer-facing employees for them, so they never even experience what they have caused. Even then, they likely live in areas that do pay their customer-facing employees better than other areas, so they're happier with their pay. Therefore, they feel more appreciated, and it's demonstrated in their work. The problem is that our society is designed in this manner. The customer-facing jobs are considered non-skilled positions, so they already have a negative energy associated with them. So not only do they have to put up with some crazy things from customers, they're also most likely underpaid. And because their pay is compared to other similar positions, it causes circular logic as far as how much they deserve to be making. So how many thousand times more does their CEO make? Why is the CEO's time worth so much more than the people who actually run the business on a daily basis and do the work as well? So why do we accept this type of wage discrepancy? To understand this, we just need to look at one example from our past: medieval times. So peasants and serfs were treated as though they were slaves for royalty, whether or not they were officially owned by their nobles, which was the case in a lot of situations. So as long as they were part of the monarchy, or at least in favor with them, then they could have a decent life. It's very easy to see the hierarchical structure in something open like a monarchy. However, in today's society, it's not as easy to see it. People are insulated by things like corporations, boards of directors, and mutual funds. So you can always follow the money and, see who has a vested interest. Now, it's a lot easier to see this type of hierarchical structure in corporations. It's very clear that the CEOs are the kings and the queens, the monarch. The C-level executives are the lords and the ladies, the nobles. The upper management are the knights, and the customer-facing employees are the serfs and the peasants. So we need to shed our medieval shackles and get rid of this feudal system. It's time to stop enabling the monarchies of the elite, and it's time for us serfs and peasants to get what we deserve. So this is where I'd like to bring your attention to www.pauseforthecause.com. I have released a plan that will help us address the issue to a degree. It doesn't completely remove the current power structure. It restructures it in a way, it restructures the way that we actually tax both individuals and businesses. It uses the lowest paid employee's salary to determine each employee's tax rate. So this prevents the atrocities that we have today, where a CEO is able to make more money on his day off than a 15-year loyal employee made over the past 3 years combined. So each employee would have a tax rate equal to how many times more they make than the lowest paid employee. So if Joe makes $25,000 a year, he's the lowest paid employee, his boss Jane makes $50,000 a year, then Jane would have a 2% tax rate because she makes twice as much as Joe. However, this does stop Mike, the CEO, from making 1,000 times more than Joe, since he would have 1,000 times tax rate, 1,000% tax rate. However, most people in this system would likely see a tax break. Now, it also changes the way that we tax businesses to the same way we currently collect Medicare and Social Security taxes. It's on wages versus profits. So we completely remove all tax loopholes and deductions, and we level the playing field for our small businesses. So why listen to me? I mean, I'm not an economist. I'll be honest, I'm just a high school dropout with no college degree. I never went through a system to be taught to think a certain way. I won't tell you to trust me. We blindly trust corporations, celebrities, and politicians way too much already. So all I'm asking is that you look at what I've said, you make your own decision. Look at what I've laid out in the proposal and ask yourself if you think it'll work or not. So I was terminated earlier this year after almost 15 years of loyal service because I chose not to upload my own personal medical information to a third-party company. I chose all of our freedom over my wife's, my daughter, and my own livelihood. So I'm just asking that you take a look at this plan, you make your own decision. So if you would like to support this message, please consider purchasing one of our t-shirts. So I'd like to thank you for your time. I truly do understand how valuable it is. So I'm just wishing you all the best. You have a great day out there. If you would like to support the message, like I said, go ahead and pick up one of the t-shirts. And also, if you aren't financially able to, which I definitely understand that as well, just use the hashtags Pause for the Cause and the Fix for Capitalism and help spread the word. Help us get this message out, because we really want to make a change for society. We want to make things better for everybody. Okay, thanks guys. Y'all have a great day.